And then Atelier Yumia, another review game. Um, this game, as people, I don't know if people on the podcast know, but I'm a big Atelier fan. They're these kind of games. I mean, they're video games, of course, but you make
Okay, okay.
you
Video games,
collect.
You
you
got me
say?
started.
So in the previous titles, they've been these games where you just collect items to make alchemy recipes, and you fight enemies and get the drops. You pick up things, you make alchemy stuff, and then that's kind of how you progress the story. Is like there's a guy who comes to you that's like some governor or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, we need this by this date," and you make it by that date. So it's like a
With the law of
long,
equivalent exchange?
basically. So you have these like, so you have to like get all this stuff to make this thing, to get all this stuff to make that thing, and then combine those things. And also, this boss has this drop. Get that drop from the boss. Combine that to get the item before the time frame ends. Right. So they're kind of these slice of life, chill, very laid back games. Atelier Yumia is the first game in the 26 series of games of this series where they've actually kind of they've decided to strategically stray from the normal formula. So normally there isn't a bad guy, there isn't a guy you're trying to fight, there isn't something bad happening. This game has a very clear, like, these are the bad guys, and you have a very clear like path, and then it's more so, I wouldn't say violence, but it's more so like combat focused through the story. So there's this land, this continent that got wiped out by a magical kind of terrorist attack, and this government is sending soldiers over there, and they brought you an alchemist. Alchemy and magic kind of seen as evil, and you're kind of there to help them discover this kind of weird magical place. Um, so that alone in itself is very different for the series. The series is usually very lighthearted, very like, I live in this small town. Me and my friends go out and adventure, and we're going to stop the mayor from having to sell the city because he's poor. Like something like that. Now it's like you're strategically kind of going between places and discovering things and crafting things and trying to stop a bad guy. The alchemy mechanics, so you kind of go out and you explore, you pick up stuff. So this game, to kind of bring it all together, this game is more so like a Ubisoft open world game. So there's a lot of like, it's
Map game?
it's yeah, it's a map game. It's like Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed kind of together, right? But the thing that I think makes this game shine, you also get a bike, pretty cool. Um, is what makes this game shine is it uses that formula of like, pick up this thing, do this thing, do that thing, pick up that thing, do this to its advantage, right? So as you want to craft things, you want to pick up as much as you can because there's different tiers of quality of things you can pick up. So you want to get as much as you can to get the highest tier of that item. So when you go do alchemy, right, it's like, okay, you need wood and this like rock and maybe a metal, right? So it's like, if you have a B tier metal, a B tier rock, and a B tier whatever, you put that together, you make a higher grade thing, right? And then within that, you have these spheres like she's showing right here, where you put more items into it to increase the quality and increase the like stats of it. So you want to get the highest quality of things that you can find. So it's like a mass gathering of things is good. So it uses that Ubisoft kind of mentality of like, look at all this stuff you can do. You're like, and normally in Assassin's Creed, you're like, why would I do that? I don't care. And this is like, that's the core mechanic of the game, is like finding all the stuff to make your weapons, because you can't buy weapons, you can't buy armor.
You have to like craft them. Okay.
You have to craft your own armor. You have to craft your own weapons. So you're kind of really pushed towards like, hey, do you want to get your ass beat? No? Okay, well, you better go craft all this stuff and you
Listen, I
better
understand that in other games having 70 pieces of paper is irritating, but
no, not in this game. Is those 70 pieces of paper, you add it to your weapon and it increases that bar up and makes the quality go up, and then it opens a socket and you can put something in that socket and you can make your shit even like pop even more. So you have to gather a bunch of stuff, and that's just kind
Sure.
of
is
that's what's cool, right?
is the little
Um,
Navi companion that's following her a light bulb or a beaker? It looks like there's like a little...
he's a back he's like he looks like a bong to be
Yeah.
completely honest. But he's
I
kind
wasn't
of
gonna
this
say it, but yeah.
yeah, he's this little like dude. I don't know what he is
Mm.
really.
No, he just looks like a
But
little like beaker, like a flask.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, he's like a little companion. He's cute. Spoiler alert, by the way. Um, that's one of the bad guys. So
No.
anyways, so the thing besides all this crafting and the combat is more action
Hmm.
oriented. So it's like you have these two areas. You have like up in the front and in the back. So when you're in the front, you have combat skills, and when you jump in the back, you have range skills. Bad guys have these bars above them. They'll show like 5 ranged hits will make you break their armor. So you're like, okay, so you have to bounce between forward and back. But it's also
Hmm.
action based, so you're like mashing buttons, and your attacks have bars on them, so you have certain uses for each skill. So each skill does a different thing. Like this one will decrease special defense. This one will do this. This one will do this for your party, for your guy in the party. So it's like you have to be really strategic with how you're fighting, which is really fun. It makes it feel more involved than turn-based, even though it really is just kind of like a turn-based game at the end of the day. You also have perfect parries and dodges and stuff, so there's more to do in the battle, and also your
Hmm.
teammates can fight in other areas as you're fighting certain
Hmm.
things. So there's a lot of going on. It feels more involved. Um, Besides all of this, the Atelier games um, have really good writing above anything else. The character writing, the relationships, the world building is just really genuinely
Hmm.
good and just awesome to enjoy. The Ryza series, the one that was before this, there's 3 games. That series is really good. The writing is amazing. Um, and it kind of gets not really a bad rap, but Ryza, she's really, if you've seen her, she's really attractive. She has really like big thighs, really big butt, like, and
Yeah,
you kind
that
of
the
and you
bit
kind of
is like, yeah, the
That's the bit. Yeah.
thigh
Yeah.
and you
thigh
kind of
hugging socks kind
you
of
kind of
thing.
see that, right? And you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
just a horny Japanese game, but within the story, it's never a thing. It's never commented on. No one ever says anything. No one's ever like, Ryza's well endowed.
Hmm.
No one's ever like, it's just that's just how she looks. And the games do a really good job of just being like, this is just how this person looks, and they never comment on it, which I think kind of makes it distinct. Where it's like, yeah, obviously she's attractive, but if the character, if within the game they're not constantly pointing it out, it makes it makes it different. It makes it more respectful, and it's like, yeah, she's hot, obviously, and we want people to buy the game, but in the game it's not horny, right? So I think the game, at least that series, the last 3 games, it gets kind of like a bad kind of juju. This game kind of has the same thing. I mean, she's attractive too, but it's never like a thing. It's never like, oh my god, she's so hot. It's just like that's just
Hmm.
who she is. Um, but yeah, they're really fun, amazing video games. I highly
They
recommend the
got
series.
bikes.
And they got bikes. They got Akira
Did the
bikes.
Akira? Yeah, I was gonna say the Akira
Um,
bike.
this game is the perfect game to kind of jump in on because it's
Hmm.
like there's also homesteading where you can build bases and stuff, which is a whole other thing. You collect resources, build bases. You go to all these different areas and you build bases for the army. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's a perfect jumping on point because it's more modern, but still has like this really weird kind of alchemy system that's like,
Hmm.
okay, this is for nerds. Anyways, highly recommend it.
Excellent.
Really,
Um,
really good. The main character has this really cute accent, very it's Japanese, obviously, but her accent is very like a country bumpkin Japanese accent. I forget the area that she's from, but it's very distinct, and her voice acting is amazing. Like I just like fell in love with her because she's just like so endearing. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this character.
Cool.
There,
Cool.
there have been 27 main games in this series. It
Wow.
started back in 1997 on the PlayStation 1, and they've released pretty much one a year every year since
That's
then.
wild.
And I'm
Yeah.
looking at like, oh yeah, there's a Atelier game on the Wonder Swan, you know? Like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Think
yeah.
in the review kit they sent me, they said they've only sold like 7 million copies across all the games. All the games.
Wow.
All of them.
Wow.
7 million. So it's like
We sold
okay.
8,000 of this game. Sweet.
Yeah, no, so it's like someone is funding this series.
Yeah. Is Gust anything other than Atelier?
No, they just a Koei Tecmo like studio. Essentially, they might be like an assistant studio for like Team Ninja, maybe. But I mean, okay, if we're going off of Koei Tecmo like PC ports, Gus PC ports suck and Team Ninja PC ports suck. So maybe, hey, maybe Gus is helping out on those.
Maybe.